review. So
Right, well, might as well stop recording then. I just recorded those 10 seconds. That
did
was
you?
the... Yes. But
Did you really?
I only just did it a few seconds ago, so I actually missed quite a bit of it. So if you just say again what you just said, that'll be it.
Repeat everything from scratch.
It was boring. There were some people involved somehow. They were in some place. There were apparently drones involved who gave people viruses, and Villa might or might not have had the virus. I couldn't really figure it out. There you go.
That was the summary. Now for the review. It was
Yeah.
boring and made me go to sleep until they would start yelling, and then I would wake up again. But then they would just keep yelling, and then they would stop yelling for a while, and they would yell again. I'm pretty sure that 80% of Jenna's lines were, Avon! Avon! Avon!
Oh yeah, there was something about water. They're underwater? Yeah, they crashed in the water. Yeah, I remember that now. It didn't really matter, but
Some
that
guy said some stuff. They referenced the chick from the last episode.
some chick. Oh, that chick.
Yeah, the Mikolov chick.
Yeah, really, it should be Mikolova.
But as usual, not.
Yeah, Ben, you're not the right one to start talking about name pronunciation.
No, I'm not talking about pronunciation. It's just that because the woman is named after
Yeah,
the father.
no,
It's like with you got Lena Andrasova, got over, and then you've got Korshunova. I shouldn't be mentioning these names, damn it. But yeah, it's arguable that about 800 years in the future they don't have that naming system. So, for instance, if you're the daughter of Ivanov, you're Ivanova.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What did you think of the scenes between Avon and Aurak?
There were scenes between Avon and Nora.
Yeah, it was like this convoluted thing about how Aurak is.
Oh yeah, afraid of the thing.
Well, yeah, it's like he originally said it was like the Federation had like their own version of the computer, but it's like it was really just an extension of the same thing instead of being an alternate version of the same thing.
But anyway, Orak's like, he's trying to have a conversation with the machine about how it's. Yeah, I don't know. That was dumb. Anyway, I remember vaguely that happened.
And he was asking Avon for some upgrades, and Avon was saying things. What do you want? Wheels? And then
That's what they should have done.
Avon's in.
That would have been more exciting.
And then I don't think the crew want Aurak armed. And then Avon was impressed by the ship repairing itself, and he said something like, "Even I am impressed a bit." I love the way he delivered a bit. But yeah, so it wasn't bad enough that it kills you off. How much out of 10 would you give it?
Blah out of 10? I don't even know how to rate it. It just was so just there.
Yeah, hyphen out of 10.
Hyphen.
But you also said before that something has to be really bad for you to give it 0 out of 10.
Well, yeah, it has to have like either something that was just extremely off-putting or like 0 entertainment value. And I can't say that had no entertainment value.
I wasn't paying attention.
So. But it was just, it was so boring that it was hard to concentrate on what was happening. And yeah, I mean, I realized that I was tired, but I mean, I can't fathom a time where I would be awake enough to not feel that way. Maybe if I took some sort of hallucinogens or whatever, some sort of uppers that, put me in some sort of state of enhanced focus, but then I would probably do something more interesting. So.
You see, you would probably like the Turing test more, which is when Avon goes with Villa to a facility and Avon has to pretend to be an android that Villa had created.
Sounds like, I think I told you the first time you mentioned that, it sounds like a great sitcom.
Yeah, exactly.
Just put enough wacky music in it. And
Yeah, but like Avon actually like changes the way he talks to sound more like a robot. So it is
all right,
quite
then.
funny.
I look forward to that. But yeah, I don't really know how to give it a rating. I feel like that. Yeah, I mean, I guess a 2, but that's me being sort of generous because I don't really know what to say. And
A low of
because
2, a low of 1 and a high of 2.
huh?
A low
You
of
do
1 and a high of 2.
slow it down.
I don't understand what you mean.
Well, because you said before something has to be really bad to get a 0, so it's at least a 1, and then you said 2 is if you're being generous, so it's going to be 1 or 2. So a low of 1 and a high of
Yeah,
2.
well, the reason I'm leaning towards 2 is that like the Blake 7 thing I rated the lowest up till now, I gave a 1, and that was because that was like really really bad, and this was not quite that bad, so that's why I'm saying it probably would get a 2. Because there wasn't anything like, because the only thing that really annoyed me about this thing was just the yelling. Uh, it just seemed repetitive. It was just like, there was too much like intensely talking about things instead of actually doing the things. And I realized in audio you can't, you got less you can show by visual, obviously, because you don't have that option. But even if it was just sound effects, I mean, Big Finish is good at sound effects.
Yeah.
Or if there was some more understated dialogue, but it was like everything was. I mean, I feel like I said this before, but like it was too monotone. Like everything was at the same level, and so it kept it at this level of volume and intensity where I don't know a way to make sound that, because it makes it sound like, I mean, most people would say, well, isn't it good if they maintained intensity? But it was like overstated intensity. Like it's
Yeah,
like
it's
if I came home and started talking to Morgan, I'm like, I brought food. The refrigerator has a lot of things in it. You haven't taken the trash out. Like everything was a pronouncement. It's like,
I mean,
okay, we get it. Calm down.
yeah, I mean, they're not exactly able to afford the highest quality cast.
Well, I
I'll
didn't
give you
think.
that.
I mean, the regular actors are fine in terms of like they're not bad actors. It was
Oh
just
yeah,
to me, I put that on the director for not being like, okay, dial it down, and so we can have some like fluctuation in the voice levels where it's not just all everybody is at the top all the time. It's like when you're doing like a music recording, and if you watch the little equalizer thing and it bounces up and down, it doesn't just stay at the top the whole time. If
well,
it does, like your music sounds bad.
well, in the next 2 or 3 episodes of that, so they actually bring in a good actor who's done other things, play a
That's the
certain.
way you say that. It's like they actually brought in a good actor. They're like, what's the problem up to this point? I have a good actor. Okay, you.
Would you want to know his name?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
eventually I might, but not
well,
yet.
the stories, because so far there've been like NT-ish stories, I suppose, the second and the third, and I can't remember what the next one's about. It's called. The next one is called Mirror, and this might be to more of your liking. Let's have a look. Here we go. Aurak has tracked Space Major Cade to the man who killed Jenna's father, to the planet Vir. Jenna wants her revenge.
I don't need to know like all what happens.
Okay. But that looks like it might be more to your liking rather than an NTS story. More about relations.
Are you saying
Relationship.
that the drones thing you thought was an NT-ish story?
Yeah, because it's
What was
about technology.
What was NT-ish about it?
Well, because it's about technology.
That's it?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure that any type can do stuff with technology. So, I mean, what was there something actually like innovative about the technology?
Well, he had little tiny drones that would.
I think that usually the point they make in Blake is 7 is that they have some weird contraption, right? And that's completely impractical. And they're like, isn't the idea of this great? And that's kind of the thing that appeals to NTs.
So what was it that appealed to you about it then, Ben? I'm assuming you liked it.
Well, I liked all of this stuff, all of the interaction between Avon and Aurak, and wondering about this force that is out there, this Federac, this rival computer, this rival device to Aurak. The fact that Aurak is being, and Avon's picking up on how Aurak is manipulating things again, just as what the subtext was in Redemption. And Avon knows that Aurak is being manipulative, and he has to continually threaten Aurak with his survival. Because they know how useful he is, but he does have his own agenda. I like that. I did like the stuff with the drone. I thought there was good tension. I thought it was a good performance from Michael Keating as he was being, when he was ill. The effects from the virus, he didn't overdo it.
Yeah, actually, if I was going to say one, try to find the positive, that would be one positive, because he could have easily, just come off as, super whiny, because he's already a little whiny. And I agree with you, he did that pretty effectively, where he wasn't, super annoying with that.
So did you think generally, as you watch these episodes of Blade 7, that you like the performance, not necessarily the character as much, but the performance of Villa from the actor Michael Keating, that he's done it in a funny way, that he's acted that part well?
I mean, I would say yes to the first part of what you said. I wouldn't say that it's usually that funny, but I think he does an effective job of playing that character.
I think I heard one line he said in that last story. No.
Yeah. I mean, occasionally he'll say something funny, but most of the funny stuff comes Avon says something in response to what he says. It's sort of like he sets him up for the punchlines, but every once in a while. But yeah, I mean, I don't think his acting performance is bad. There was maybe one episode where, or one or two, where it sounded a little bit more like kind of canned one-liner-ish, but most of the time he seems pretty good. And that I never know how much is the actor and how much is the director, or even the way it was written. So.
And I think when Morgan pointed out that how in Hostage, when he was going teleport, how genuinely he was good at showing how afraid he was in that moment, when Travis was totally bullying him.
Yeah, I mean, to me and I think Morgan said pretty much something close to this too, that we don't, if someone is doing a good job acting, they don't tend to think about the fact that it's some guy acting. You're just watching the character. So there's never I guess that other than maybe that one or two points where there was a few lines that were a little bit too forced, most of the time I don't have times where I'm where I think he slips out of character. And I think he does a good job of playing the character. I mean, he's effectively annoying. But not so annoying that I'm oh, I can't watch this show because of him.
Right.
There are some people, The Big Bang Theory, for instance. I couldn't watch that show regularly because has that one guy that I can't stand his voice, and so I just wouldn't be able to listen. I wouldn't be able to watch the show for that reason, if nothing else. Even if I was oh, this show has funny stuff or whatever, if I was compelled to watch it for other reasons, which I'm really not, that would be the thing where I'm I still can't watch it because of that guy.
If you want to see a better version of that that's done properly, it's HBO's, I think it's HBO, they did Silicon Valley. That's not got a caricature of NTs the way that other show that you mentioned.
Well, anyway, to me, I mean, it's I don't get to the point where I'm even judging whether something's caricatures of NTs. I'm just saying the guy's voice is annoying.
Right.
So.
Right. So yeah, I think you might like the next one more because it's more character based. Oh, and it's a Jenna story as well, so you can imagine her looking like the way she used to look.
Yeah, thanks for that tip. Well, if you want to go in that area, then I should tell you that there's a good Doctor Who story, audio story from the Fifth Doctor. That
Hey, she still looks good now, Nicola Bryant.
Yeah, that you should listen to because there's a scene where they're bathing Perry in oils.
Yeah, but do you agree that she still looks good now, Nicola Bryant?
I'm not seeing her right now, so I can't agree or disagree. The
She
last
wasn't that
time
old
I
when
remember seeing
she started Doctor Who when she was about
pictures of
18, I
her,
think. So she's not that
okay.
old.
Yeah, okay.
What's happened? Oh, what's happened with the sound? Are we okay? Right
No?
then. Oh, are we okay with the sound? Okay.
I can understand you now if that's what you're asking.
Oh, so it went a bit weird, the sound.
I mean, there was a little fluctuation, but nothing major.
Okay. Yeah, it was just me talking over you. Bad Ben. Right. That's just about it. We got through that. I can end the review, and I always thank you for your honesty. And I said I thank you for your honesty in these reviews.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
And we'll remind you, folks, that he gave 6 out of 5 to
6 out of 5.
You're right. 6.5 out of 10 to the Keeper. Right. So bye bye, folks.